I'm hungry, you're hungry. Welcome to the channel. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're making some crab and shrimp dip with some spinach, getting a little, I don't know, no, it's not carbs. I mean, it does have carbs, getting a little protein in it and whatever. And this is like not too much calories, nothing too crazy, something like really easy to make, and it like fancies up your night or your day, whatever time you decide to make it. So I kind of showed you exactly how I open up my crab leg. You can use canned crab. You can use any kind of crab. You can use the one that they have in the supermarket, but recommend to buy fresh crab just because it's gonna be just around the same price as buying it in freaking bottle. Cause that would be $30, and you could just buy a 3-pack of crab legs for like 40 for $10 extra. So you're gonna make sure your shrimp is really cut up. The only reason why I didn't cut up my crab is because crab is really something in general that's really soft, and it's gonna break down eventually, and just cutting into pieces is gonna be a drag, and you're not really gonna taste the crab. So you're just making sure everything is well cut. You cut it the way how much you want to. I really did it in small pieces because I wanted to be able to bite in my food and not be like, oh, like chew my times. Like it gets all around. You know what I mean? But you're gonna get your little solid homemade this is just like canned biscuits. Really easy, really short thing if you're in a rush. Not really if you're in a rush, but if you want to do nothing too crazy, just do something like this. I couldn't have because I wanted to try something new. As y'all will see, I did circle into little balls. If y'all want to do a little twist, you can just add cheese on it inside, so it could be like little cheese balls, but I didn't want to do that. But you just circle around, put it next to each other, trying to make it a little fancy, because we gotta make a little restaurant at home, you know what I mean? If you haven't already, make sure you like this video, comment down below recipes you want me to do, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on another video. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, Facebook. Like me on Facebook, TikTok, all them social media platforms. You know, Germeats is on it. So you're just gonna keep circling. Just I say make it as even as you want. The more like if it's even on all sides is better. The only reason why I was flattening it down was because I wanted to kind of like I wanted it a certain way, as you will see later on in the video. We're really gonna go light seasonings on the actual seafood meat, for the simple fact that when you're actually making the dip itself, you're gonna add seasonings, and you're gonna do a light seasoning on your meat so it doesn't taste too salty. Because too much seasoning can lead to salty food. So you just want to do a light seasoning. No, you do not taste lemon in your even though I put lemon pepper, you do not taste crazy lemon in your seafood. Just seafood is really good with lemon, which is why I add that to like kind of burst the flavor of seafood, actually tasting a little tasty. I did use Old Bay, but if you don't want to use Old Bay, just use regular seasoning like garlic, black pepper, onion powder, something simple. If you don't want to use Old Bay, and paprika, red Kanye. I don't know. I said Kanye. First of all, learn your seasonings. Anyway, so you know I'm about to give you the butter can. You're gonna make sure everything is real butter up, little melted. You're gonna add your stuff like when it's like halfway melted, just because it's gonna take a minute and you don't want your butter burning. So like as you can see, I did add my meat and the butter was even done all the way, and that was just because butter gets really like quote unquote burnt really fast, and I did not want that at all for my meat, and I wanted my meat to also get that little buttery flavor. Even though it's a little bit goes a long way. So you're gonna cook this up. This does take a process of about 7 to 10 minutes depending how much you make in general, also depending how you actually want your meat. You might want your meat really crunchy and burnt, and that might take 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and you might just want your meat just perfectly cooked. But make sure when you're actually cooking the meat itself, you're not overcooking it. And the reason why I say that is because it's a dip, so it's gonna go in the oven regardless. Like you want it cooked to a point that like you can pick it up and eat it, like if you wanted to before you actually make the dip. But you also want it not too cooked, because it is gonna keep cooking in the oven, you know what I mean? Like it's still gonna be under heat. So when it's like halfway cooked and you're starting to see, if you did not know this, Shrimp is orange when it's cooked. And if you decide not to cut up the shrimp when it's curled up, that's how you know it's ready. I did pour out the butter juice that it did because meat itself does create like its own little juice. I did pour most of it out just because I was adding heavy cream and I didn't want to mix those two flavors up. Plus, it's removing a lot of grease, and like I said before, this is like kind of like a low calorie kind of thing, nothing too crazy. A little something snack that you can munch on. I really ate this for dinner. That's how filling it is. So you want to remove that extra stuff. I did do heavy cream, but you can decide to do buttermilk. But I have not experienced with buttermilk with dip, so that's 100% up to you. Heavy cream is just best for not only pasta, but it's also really good for this, and it just adds like a different flavor, a lot of different texture. You know you gotta add some cream cheese when you're using heavy cream or doing anything that involves creamy. You gotta add cream cheese. Cream cheese like kind of gives it like a burst of flavor that you did not know that you were missing. To be honest, like it's so freaking good. You do not taste the cream cheese at all, and like cream cheese and seafood sound like a weird combo, but remember using dairy, and cream cheese is really the best thing when using any kind of dairy. It just gives you the perfect thing. Half a cup works fine, but if you're doing smaller portions, just do half less than I'm actually using, or just using to your liking. But just make sure it is there so you're not missing out. And if you haven't already, thumbs up this video if you're enjoying the video. Comment down below recipes you want me to do because I can literally cook anything. And subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss out on another video. And join the family, join the foodie family. I'm going to start having different restaurant review and the channel's only going up from here, okay? Anyways, you're going to add like 1/4, I believe it's 1/4 of butter. And that's just because now you want to give it that butter thing. I did add 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, but if you are doing a smaller portion, just do half of everything that I'm saying right now. We're just making sure the thing is actually seasoning itself. I forgot. Ooh, I'm gonna add that, but I did add like a little bit of vanilla just because it helps balance out the flavor. You're not cooking food if you're not adding oregano. Oregano is like the what every food is missing. Like you can never go wrong with oregano. Like it brings out so many different flavors, especially Dominican oregano. So if y'all find that, if y'all in New York City, I know they sell in like literally every supermarket or deli, so make sure you tune in because it's 100% worth it. You're gonna add some black pepper because you really could never go wrong with some black pepper, adding some flavor to your dip, but you're not gonna go too crazy on the dip. I mean too crazy on the seasoning. You do not want to go too crazy because I feel like when you add a lot of seasonings to dips, like you can really taste the saltiness of it overall. Like it's not even gonna taste like a dip. Like for dip you do simple things. You're gonna add some salt just to make sure it's going right. You can add if you like if you're making this and let's say you added too much heavy cream. Just add some flour so it can help thicken it up, but don't go too crazy on the flour because flour just have a big role. I'm just making the sauce really thick, so just make sure you add some flour and it will do the job. Then you get some spinach. Don't use lettuce. Use spinach. Spinach has way more. I don't know why I'm so slow right now. But just use spinach. Just know that you do not have to use spinach for this recipe, but I did choose to do it. But if you're not using spinach or any form of veggies, make sure that you add the flour in the ending so it can once again build that thick texture that you want, but not too thick to a point that is unpleasant. Like you want it thick to a point like it feels creamy. I feel like flour gives it that creamy thing that you did not know you're missing. Flour is the best thing. Heavy cream and flour combined. Amen. I said amen. Perfect combo. You're gonna keep mixing around. You do want to have your key at this point like around 2-3 o'clock because as you can see it's bubbling up. And when it starts bubbling up, it starts hitting you. Just a FYI, I got burned a lot while cooking. So you want to add some Parmesan, but this is optional. I feel like Parmesan just brings so much different flavors. So things that doesn't have a lot of seasoning, it just gives a little good taste to it. You're not really tasting the cheese. I'm not really a big dairy fan, but Parmesan definitely does the job. So after you had your bread in the oven for about like 20 to 15 minutes or whatever you choose to have it so it's golden brown, I did make my own sauce. I have it right there: butter, oregano, garlic, and onion powder. Just some light seasoning. Put it on the butter. I said put it on the butter. Put it on the biscuit balls. I don't even know what to call them, but the little balls that you made, and you're just adding some flavor to it. Really trying to get the bread that, because you know you're gonna be putting these out, giving the bread that little taste that's missing, and it won't taste dry. You just want to throw everything on top. It looks really messy right now, but I promise you, it's so worth it. Like, it allows you to, like, when you're usually eating dip, you gotta like dip it in the thing, obviously. But like this, you just pull it out, and every pool just has some dip, which makes it a perfect combo. Lazy meal, really quick, takes less than 30 minutes. Literally takes less than 30 minutes. And if it takes more, it's okay. But it takes less than 30 minutes. So you're just gonna put some Parmesan. I put Parmesan on the bottom because Parmesan on top does burn faster, and I wanted the mozzarella to be more of like a little bread or whatever. So I did sprinkle more Parmesan on top slightly, and that was just because it just makes it look a little bit pretty. I did put some light seasonings on it though, just because I wasn't like I was unsure if my light seasoning was gonna come through, but just in case I did, make sure I put it on top. You know, this is looking real nice, pretty. I did put in the oven for about 375 for like 15 minutes, but you can put it for less depending on how you want it. I did want my top a little bit burnt. The same sauce that I did use for the bread, I'm just topping it off, just giving it that extra little flavor that it might or might not be missing. You might not want to do this. It's perfectly fine. It works the best, like the same way. This helps the texture. You know, you're gonna put some parsley on top, making sure it's looking a little pretty. And make sure you make this recipe. Make sure you tag me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media that you saw this on. Make sure you tag me. Top it out with some Parmesan cheese to make it look a little bit more prettier. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down below recipes you want me to be doing. And make sure you follow me on Instagram because your girl be active. Bye, y'all.